something that we should research more.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm seeing a lot of that. More and more than I've seen 10 years ago. There's a lot of people walking around with this and stuff like that now, you know. Yeah. What's that? And then you, what's it?
Bobby, I just wanted to ask you a question. I'm dealing with this brother. And one of the things you to ask me, I have a problem that we're creatures, or humans, we're supposed to be in the ever striving for knowledge, right? And sometimes, my problem, I'm gonna ask you if you think I'm correct. Sometimes we all get, I'm 5%. But even the lessons, I look at the lessons and I cross-reference it and I get the information. I don't just take it on face value.
So what's the...
My question is why do our people always assume that just because somebody who they think gave them the right information, they don't build on that and search that information out?
Right, let me tell you where that came from. Let me tell you where that came from.
Too often we deal with we are sectarian people. And it also comes down to people just being comfortable. A lot of times people are too lazy to research. So they would rather level new income and knowledge that would further us in this evolution of new light of understanding because they're too lazy to research. That's one aspect of it. You see what I'm saying? Another aspect of that is that we are trained to not accept change. We hate change. Why is that? Because remember now, post-traumatic slavery is dealing with, let us make a slave, is really let us make a child. Only thing you got to do, if you want to study the mind of black people and find out how we function and say, what makes them tick this way, they're so fucked up, all you got to do is study the mind and the habits of children. Children don't like to study.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They like to shirk responsibility. They like to play all the time. We like entertainment. Children like entertainment. So half the time I got to go speak knowledge to people, I got to entertain to get it across. That's a child is that type of way. You see what I'm saying? We're very petty. Children are very jealous. This is my toy. So when you look at, so let us make a slave was to make a permanent child, pathological grown-up child at large. And children don't like change. You see what I'm saying? Don't like change. You see what I'm saying? So it's so it's more than just a systematic thing. Basically, they do humanize you. We're perpetual 10-year-olds. You see what I'm saying? And so just about every last one of our pathologies you can find in the realm of childhood. That's okay for a child because it's supposed to be evolved beyond that. But that's savage for black people or grown people. And they're like children like people. You see what I'm saying? They're a childlike people. That is a science that was put on us to reduce us to a childlike people. You see what I'm saying? That's why we accept, children will accept what you give them. That's why we accept what the greater community give us. You see what I'm saying? So that has a lot to do with it. This brother here, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, you was just talking about genetics, and I have a question because recently I know scientists have discovered that the ancient Greeks were actually, they traced their genetic roots to sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes, they are black.
And that, you know, have you read The Black Athena?
Yeah.
By Martin Bernard?
Yeah.
And now he has a critic that's out here. Her name is Lefkowitz.
Yeah, right. Mary Lefkowitz, yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I want to know what you feel about that now that these.
Two things. I've done a study. The Greeks. No. It's even more than just the text of the Greeks and the philosophy of the Greeks is black. The Greeks themselves were black. Listen to me. Even the patron goddess Athena comes from Libya. She's also known as the goddess Neith. If you trace most of their gods, you can trace them back to Hemmitt. Do you know, as of 1988, that 75% of Greek culture has sickle cell trait? That means they're African in origin. And now, how did they become white? A lot of that happened within the last 100 years. They went in the late 1800s. They destroyed a lot of the black statues, and a lot of the statues you see that's erected were only made in the late 1800s. That's why they don't look ruined, a lot of them. That's a contrived history. As a matter of fact, the Discovery Channel reported that they fished a 50-foot statue out of the Aegean Sea of Zeus. And some museum in Ohio bought it for $10 million. When they carbon dated it, it was 1970. So they falsified his history as to the date. They still do it. They got a channel called, I call it the White History Channel. It's the History Channel, and ain't shit on there, but it should be called a World War II channel. Every time I turn the motherfucker on, it's some old World War, some tanks running down the shit. But it's completely a falsification of history with the A&E, the White History Channel, all of those cable channels where they're showing history is just to further white supremacy. That's right. Never show nothing black. You see, yeah, what's that?
I wanted to ask you about dreams.
Yeah.
How can I make my dreams vivid, more vivid?
Several things. You could put water under your bed.
That's right.
You could take, if you got any electronics in your room, like TV, VCR, you take them out of your room because the ELF waves, electromagnetic fields, those things interfere with your dreams and it fucks with the pineal gland.
What about putting the plug?
I'm just saying, take it, well, yeah, unplug it.
That's right.
Unplug all that.
What about taking zinc?
Well, there's all types of things. Get off fluoride.
That's right.
That interferes with the pineal gland in dreams. You know, and take either some safe sleep aid like the Unisom, that shit works, or some valerian root or something like that.
Yes. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? If you want to go to health thing, and jack in that type of way, you see. So there's several ways you can do it. Then you can program your dreams by saying, I'm going to dream about this, and you tell your subconscious mind. One way to do it is you say, I'm going to dream about this, and I'm going to be aware of my dreams when I go to sleep. So you can program certain things. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, what's that?
I got a question. As far as death is concerned.
Yeah.
As far as death is concerned, when you die, let's say, somebody was to die, right?
Yeah.
The morgue would come get him.
Right.
And take him away.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that energy can't be created or destroyed. So when
Yeah.
you die, it's a transmutation. You just go on to the next.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that when they pick you up and take you and do, everything they do to you, embalm you and everything.
Right.
Is anything that they do to you that hinders that process
No.
of transformation to the other side?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Death is the ultimate key, and basically, no, they can't stop that particular aspect. Each person's soul is its own universe, so it's already intact. That other side. Fall in love with death. Death is the ultimate key. The reason why you are slaves is because the simple fact that you've been made afraid of death. Death is good. Anytime a motherfucker die, you should applaud that shit.
That's right.
Death should be celebrated.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So all the brothers and sisters that died, that's good.
Great release.
They say, the ancient Egyptians say that death is like a bird. The death to the soul is like a bird that was captured in a cage and then released from the cage. That's how your soul feels when you get the fuck up out of this
That's right.
piece of shit right here you call a body.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, go ahead.
Could you speak more about in death when you die, the melanin after in your state of your resurrection? Do you know more about how melanin and resurrection of spirit?
It says the Egyptians talk about the soul carries with it a shadow. Anytime you hear the word shadow, that's called melanin. The ka, that's a form of the melanin. The ba is the soul. The shadow, it's a melanin. The soul carries, the mystery here is the soul is a particle of light. You take a match and you strike a match and you put it up against this white paper, you'll see soot come off. The soot is the melanin. That spark itself produces the melanin. So when you die, that shadow follows the soul. The soul is producing that shadow. So that's why you don't reincarnate in nothing but coming back black. Because the shadow goes to a shadow, it goes to energies that's like its own property.
So you would say even in death,
yeah.
Melanin gets stronger in death.
Yes, melanin is the shadow, the journey to the shadow realm. There's a movie called Bram Stoker's Shadow Builders that deals with that whole melanin, and that's what you see when you see the spook and the different stuff like that. Yes, yeah.
Bobby, now that we dealing with the Egyptians a little bit, Bobby, can you expound a little bit on what the Egyptians allegedly used as anatomic gold dust? The reason why I bring it up is because I read an article in the Nexus magazine.
Right, yeah.
And what I did, I remember watching the movie Indiana Jones.
Right.
When the German boys opened up that Ark of the Covenant, and the white boy put his hand in there, and he was, what did he have in his hand? Was that the anatomic gold?
What they call, yeah.
Was that it?
Look, what this thing here is alchemical representation. That is nothing but another form of melanin. Monatomic, anatomic gold is nothing but another form of melanin. You ever hear the word stardust?
Yes.
That's melanin. It's called techim. Techim in Egypt, heavy star material. All that is melanin. All that is melanin.
Cosmos is melanin.
Yeah, all that is melanin.
All right, because that article, I found that article kind of interesting, that white boy brought about.
Yeah.
And it just took me back to the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. All that is the alchem. That is the theatrical representation of what happened. The Ark of the Covenant is in actuality nothing but the concept of the brain and all of that type of thing.
Brother Bob,
yeah.
She said she feels offended that you talked about melanin and they don't have melanin. Look at it. Turn them around, excuse me.
What? Did she say? Wait a minute.
She's crying because she said you're talking about melanin. Black man. You got to include her. Black brother.
Well,
planetary melanin we talking. Oh, chill. A minute.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, brother. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
you're talking about melanin and you ain't include her like she wasn't a part of our family.
oh, she said she just want to listen. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm just saying. Yeah.
What is her role in the post-traumatic slave syndrome?
What?
What is the white woman's role in the post-traumatic slave syndrome?
That's a good question.
Okay. Good question.
That's the question. Good question.
Good. Okay.
What is the white woman's role in the post-traumatic slave syndrome?
Okay. Historically.
Come on with it, Bobby.
Historically. Now try to understand this in the psychological sense of the word. Some people say, you know, it would be great if we could live in this society where, you know, people do what they want to do, and ultimately people can do what the fuck they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I'm really not into, I really don't get offended no more or whatever if somebody go off and marry someone. Well, people do what they want to do. We got a mass culture here. But try to understand the concept on what's going on here based on post-traumatic syndrome. And especially the offspring and the children. Now, we counted 80% of Hollywood that intermarry. But we count less than 2% of white Hollywood that marries outside of the race.
That's right.
That is because, based on psychological value of the Hollywood image, they are taught that, look, Tom Cruise, you can screw who the fuck you want. But if you're talking about the projection of a survival of a certain image to your children, you need to marry your species half. You see what I'm saying? So I don't blame white folks that 2%, I'm talking about 1% of Hollywood, majority of them marry their own people. Because they understand the imagery. Now here on the other hand, we have 80% that don't. Now what does this say to the child? Well, look, all the people that I admire is somehow jumping and marrying outside the race, and subconsciously, what the fuck is wrong with the black woman? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
When she is not even considered the standard of beauty with her beautiful prototypical West African features half the time. So you got to look at the post-traumatic syndrome of a psychological aspect so bad until you can get a white girl in the projects in a goddamn wheelchair can pull more goddamn niggas than you.
That's right, Bob.
So some things are not just idealism. Some things are reality. And we live with that reality.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So it's well and fine. And if you want to do what you got to, that's well and fine. But you got to understand, if it is so bad for me to say this, why is it that 90% of Hollywood white stars don't marry outside of their race?
There you go.
We got a point here just looking at the white side of these things. What do they know to say, if I'm going to be a representative on a mass level as an image, you see what I'm saying, to catapult the future of my race, that I have to be seen in unison.
That's right.
With my species have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? So obviously there's a science of the image. You can't say you got a healthy image of being a racial aspect of trying to look at yourself at a certain way, and every Negro we see to get cut loose from a football field is running to the white girls. You see what I'm saying? Well, you can say what you want, but now some people say, well, what about the white people in America? They are not in a deficit. They are not in trauma. We're the motherfuckers in trauma.
That's right.
That's right, buddy. That's right.
Now, and it's an epidemic.
Yes, it's an epidemic.
Beyond epidemic.
Speak to the
You see?
secret relationship. The secret relationship, because the hit is this. They want to be us while we're busy trying to be them.
Right. That's what, you know. So my point here is, whether we like it or not, I know for a fact, because I travel around the country, and I'm telling you, that black man is in retreat from the black woman. I don't know what the fuck he want, but he don't want your motherfucking ass. Now, that's a problem. That's a goddamn problem. You see what I'm saying? Huh? Well, that's already started, but see, that's design. That's design, but there's only one problem, though. But there's only one problem with that. And check this out. No matter how good the trend goes, that white man in mass is not going to abandon his woman. He's better than us when it comes to that shit. Now, it could be these pockets, and it can be the trend, like it's in Chicago with the club, but by and large, motherfucker ain't going to abandon his goddamn woman. He ain't doing it. We are. You see what I'm saying? We are. So, psychologically, you can't say something. We talking and everything based on your function down here is based on your psychology. You see what I'm saying? If you don't project that, you already finished. You see, so yeah, it is a problem. And that is a part of the post-traumatic syndrome. Yeah.
So if we say that the white man is the devil, what does that make the white woman?
The devil.
Hey. Look, man.
Yo, you gotta understand where the white man come out of, man.
Oh, we know where the white man come from.
Look, yeah, what's that?
I heard the white woman say that it was only two types of individuals in chattel slavery, and that was the black man and her. You understand that?
Yeah.
Now I hear a lot of brothers saying they don't want black women because they got some kind of ignorance that they travel with 24/7, and plus they don't take care of their physical. You know.
Well, they must be. Well, they put it. They must be from the wrong neck of the woods. They need to come down to goddamn Atlanta. They got the finest.
Look at her.
Yeah. Look, they need to come down to Atlanta because they got some of the most beautiful women. And I've been sitting here, physical my ass. I've been sitting here for the last hour.
That's right.
And while I was talking to y'all, I wasn't even studying y'all ass.
That's right.
I've been on them goddamn honeys walking across here. How the hell you think I even stayed here this long? Huh? What you say now? What?
I said, what is the first part of what I asked?
Is about that, the secret relationship? I mean, you...
No, forget about the secret. I'm saying the fact that the white woman said to me that it was only shadow slave. Hold on, brother.
You give it... All I'm trying to say...
You know what I'm saying? The fact that she said that the black man and her were the only ones actually enslaved, shadow slavery.
That particular information, so that's... You asking me to say something about information you're giving. I'm unaware of that. I'm quite sure that when you... I've heard certain things to say that I've even heard certain things to go to the fact that the only two free people in this country is the black woman and the white man. I've heard some stuff like that before. You know what I'm saying? And all this type of thing here, you know. Yeah, you know, but, I don't see how the black woman wasn't in slavery. You know, so, I mean, maybe you can expound on that based on what she said. I'm unfamiliar with it. It's just, you know.
Questions.
Is there a problem with her attitude? That's what I'm asking you, brother. Is there a problem with the black woman's...
Hell yeah, there's a problem with that.
Look, you know what? Look. Listen. Let me explain something to you. Now, let me explain something to you. Okay. All right. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. You know what, man? Let me explain. Okay, then. Okay. Well, let me address that. Well, okay. No, wait a minute. Hold on. First of all, hold on. No, back up. Wait a minute. Hold on. First of all, motherfuckers is seeing me, so y'all need to shut the fuck up. All right, let me address this. Now, we're just dealing with deductive logic and reasoning here.
That's right.
Whatever pathologies we both have, black man or black woman, is not indigenous to us. Same bug bit her, bit us. Now, that means that certain sisters got issues with black men, certain black men got issues with black women. The problem here is it's a gender thing on why we don't see eye to eye on certain amount of things. The point I'm trying to make here is, as oppressed people, we are not to sit here and debate on who's more oppressed than other. Oppression is oppression. Bottom goddamn line. They just announced last week that the #1 recipient of AIDS in the community is the black woman. That means that she's slated for genocide. So whether we get into this argument alone, the powers that be are clear on one damn thing. We need to be divided. So my point here is this. I do know this about sisters. I know this about sisters that's innate. They're looking for love. There's a difference. Sometimes you can fall short, but I'm saying, and love comes with communication.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times, we fail to express our true heart. You get them on, I'm telling you about some sisters, I know what I'm talking about.
That's the truth, brother.
If you express your true heart, not some shit that is fictitious about the man's role, or the woman's role is given to you by some old jive-ass religions that didn't even exist before 2,000 years ago. Right. But if you express and come clean out of this you supposed to do this and this gender shit, or these things, and you express your true heart, you will find out that it breaks through all that bullshit, and a lot of times, that's what they need is love. On the other hand, that's the same thing that some of the sisters gotta do.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? To admit that in actuality we are in a form of warfare, and we can't sit up here and every time somebody make a mistake, we point and say that's the same thing, you niggas ain't this and this type thing. That's divide and conquer. You see what I'm saying? So I'm quite sure as a humane people, this shouldn't even be discussed on the reason why we don't get along. We know that this thing is contrived because we know one thing we got that more than anything that we know of anything. We weren't this way when we first came here.
That's right.
So out of all the shit we got, if we want to say a solution, we say, well, obviously what humans have done, humans can do. So that means the capacity to do what you want, you still got it because goddamn you didn't come here, nigga.
That's right.
That's right.
So on that particular level, we can't get into this thing about what you call it because yes. Now my point here is this here, the example is this. We need to separate ourselves from what the dead people think and what the learned people think.
There you go.
Now, what the learned people think, you as a brother or anybody else supposed to automatically know, well, these are things that was designed to us based on post-traumatic slavery syndrome.
That's right, artificial programming.
Or post-servitude black insanity.
That's right, artificial programming.
So we should know these things as a learned person, and so therefore that shouldn't be the criteria. Now, dead people, you can have countless examples of how they are and stuff, but that's what they are. They're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They're ignorant, which means you're talking about people that's walking around just completely asleep. Like the movie They Live say, we have been taken over by an artificial intelligence that resembles sleep.
That's right.
So you can't base your model based on a dead person because they're asleep. Right. But we're talking about the people that's got some simulation of consciousness on whatever level. Then it's no excuse. You see, it's no excuse. It is possible. I just re-entered into a new relationship, and guess what? Me and the babe don't even argue. And I'm a person that like to argue. So I know the shit can be done. We don't even have no arguments. You see? So we shouldn't be giving no dissension based on ignorance.
Is this the reason why that we have so much a rise in homosexuality and black men and black women? We have such a rise in homosexuality.
Look, what you're dealing with here is a postmodern society that you're going to have that in this culture. You understand what I'm saying? This is a postmodern society. You're going to have this in that culture. I still have these CDs, the Bobby Hemmitt CDs, some of you want to get for $10 or whatever the deal here is. You know, yeah. But a post-traumatic, what you call it? So post-traumatic syndrome, post-slavery traumatic syndrome. And I'll give you some questions.
Who got questions? Anybody?
Give me some questions.
Oh, well, the question was, about this rise in gay and lesbian relationships you see with black youth today. Is that related to post-traumatic slave syndrome? The rise.
No, because we didn't have that. We've always had post-traumatic slave syndrome since 1865.
Right.
No, this is something new that is being input into the culture that we live in now. It's a culture gone bad. You see what I'm saying? It's not even just bad for black people, it's bad for white folks. You see what I'm saying? Hell, I met a white girl saying she had to take her children out of the school because they was dumb as shit, they was dumbed down, they was like zombies. As soon as she took them out of the school, she started seeing their intelligence come back. So this is the design, period, on this culture. You see, yeah. Give me some questions.
Any questions? Anybody?
What's that?
Hold up. Anybody else? Anybody new? Questions?
Anybody questions? Questions?
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
With the Egyptians, right?
Yeah.
I look at some of the documentaries that Europeans do on the Egyptians.
Yeah.
Okay. I look at the tombs. They say, okay, well, these Egyptians left such and such as, whatever for the afterlife. It could be seeds, it could be metals, it could be stones.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
What did the Egyptian? When the Egyptian placed those things there, those offerings for the afterlife,
right.
What did they actually think was going to take place? How can, as a dead person or a being, how can you interact with the offerings?
What they were doing was this here's a science. Number one, most of the time when they did that, not all the Egyptians was buried with all that stuff. It was either the learned Egyptians or the royal Hemmites. So they understood sometime when you die, you don't know who you are. You're lost. And somehow if they could take a simulation of what they had in this world, they could still keep the same thought process and evolve on where they was trying to go. So it was a marker or a sign to keep a certain amount of consciousness where they was going. But it wasn't the masses of the Egyptians. Most of the Egyptians was just buried. You know what I'm saying? And some of them in the regular grave sites didn't even have caskets, tombs and stuff. Yeah. What's that?
What are we to expect on esoteric level in this couple of months?
As always, on the esoteric level, things are changing. Just remember, the masses is this. When you're looking out here in the sky and you're looking at all the things that happen in this realm, you're going to be disenfranchised. A lot of the things that's going to go on is going to go on the inner body, on the inside of you. That's one of the keys. A lot of those are going to go on the inside of you. So that's what's happening. We are changing as we speak. You see what I'm saying? So that's some things. Just focus on the inner body and the consciousness on that level. What's that?
So what do you think? They say that the plan is 2005 to get ready to reinstitute the draft. So what's going to be the reaction of black people all over America when this comes down on them?
They're going to go on, black people in America, they're going to go and fight and do everything that white man tell them to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They're going to go and do whatever that cracker got up for them, that's what they're going to do.
One question.
Yeah.
100 times worse.
Well, it don't matter. That's, you don't worry about the masses. Discount them. They're going to do what the greater society tell them to do. And you can't worry about that. What's that?
Yeah, what do white men say when they go to the space and they see UFO? Is that true?
Okay, two aspects of the UFO thing. Any physical UFO that abducts people is government. We have vessels, they are not physical. They're spiritual, they're not physical. Any UFOs you have that abduct people physically, that's all by the government. Number one, they fuck up because they only abduct white folks. You see what I'm saying? Those are fake. We have spiritual vessels, but they're spiritual. Why the hell would we, you know what I'm saying, travel in a tin can somewhere? And why the hell, if they was physical, why we haven't seen them? We the people. So that's all fake. Yeah, that's all fake.
So there's spiritual...
It's spiritual. They are spiritual vessels.
Highly advanced,
huh?
Highly advanced.
Yeah, and they have a lot to do with your inner self, too. Yeah, it has we're connected with it. Give me some questions, huh?
What about the Fahrenheit movie that's out? What do you think about the fact that
I think it's good for the mere fact that they are forced to even put a movie out like that. It's great because it means the society is in real serious trouble. On the other hand, if they didn't want that movie to come out, he would have been dead. So anything that come in that theater is sanctioned by the government. You just don't put nothing out like that, you know, hell. So in so many words, it's good because they're trying to do something because they're running scared. So that's great for the mere fact we got that to come out. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, but he's doing this falsehood to think that there's a two-party system. That still got you in mind control to think that the Democrats are different than the Republicans.
That's right.
And Bush is going to be different than Kerry, his goddamn cousin. And his skull and bones brother. What's that?
I have a question off that subject. Sarnetta said that man created God. I was wondering if you could shed some light on that.
Man created God.
That's what Sarnetta said.
In so many words, what this also means is this. In the beginning, there was Gaia, which is the great mother, Tartarus, which is considered the inner earth, but the earth itself. Before there was even a heaven, there was an earth. Now, whether it was physical, that's a different thing. So in so many words, if you read the ancient texts, the Enuma Elish and the different texts, we were always here. We just wasn't in the physical state. So that probably what they talk about, because the messenger used to talk about that some, but we were always here, and all the texts indicate that our origin was prior to this creation. They say our world is built off of several other primal worlds that existed before it. In those primal worlds, we are the Titans.
That's right, come on.
And the entities that ruled the known universe for the last couple of thousand or million years were our children. We took a hiatus and became in the physical. The physical entities used to rule prior to the entities that are in the that so-called reside in the universe now. It's just a matter of a principality shifting.
What's that? The black statue they found in Egypt?
Huh?
The black statue they found in Egypt pointing and our ancestors came from outer space, and that ties into...
Part of that, yes. That's a part of it, yeah. Yeah. That's a part of it. What's that?
Yeah, my brother, I want you to talk more and enlighten us more about the reptilian race.
All that's garbage from damn
Thank you. Thank you.
All that's garbage. And David Icke and all that's bullshit.
David Icke, that's just crap.
There ain't no snake people, no reptilian race, all that's bullshit. If it was, motherfucker, you could see it. What it is reptilian is a code word for the spinal column and the kundalini energy. We are the reptilians, the ones who have full access to the kundalini energy. There ain't no reptilian race and all that bullshit. That's all David Icke, Zachariah Sitchin, and Dr. York with his writers that they got writers that put those books together for him, and they selected that garbage.
All right, the sister got a question.
Yeah.
Hi, Bobby. How do you feel about the Hebrew Israelites building a temple, building the pyramid?
No, Hebrews didn't build no damn pyramids. I mean, the average. History don't even support that dumb shit. History don't even support that. The last temple was built.
700 years before the first Jew.
Yeah, 700 years or something like that, 700 or 800 years before, quote unquote, Abraham. And there is no, and see, this is the dumb part about it. Those patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, those were never people that lived.
That's right. There you go. There you go.
Abraham, if you go to India, is Brahma.
That's right.
Take the word Brahma, descramble it, you get Abraham. In Egypt, you get Abra.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
So
Jacob. No, ain't built no damn pyramids. What kind of ignorant shit is that? The pyramids were, there was no such thing as no damn Hebrews when the fucking pyramids was even built.
That's right. Thank you.
You see what I'm saying?
Hold up, that don't...
You see what I'm saying? How the hell you gonna have an existence of that? You didn't even have a damn doctrine.
There you go.
Of some Hebrew Israelite. That's garbage. You don't.
Bobby, are the Orishas our children?
Huh?
The Orishas.
The Orishas, yes.
African gods.
Yes. You see, Elegba and them are slated for creating the earth. They created the physical earth. They created it out of something, the primordial substance that is inside of us. You just got to get, there's other texts you can get. There's other texts you can get based on that whole creation myth. The Olympian realm, the Orisha realm is the same as the Olympian realm in Greece, or the Deva realm in India, Devashanic plain. That came after the Asura realm, or the Titan realm, you see what I'm saying, or the Titan realm, which was overthrown and became humans. You see. Yeah, the physical bodies. But what they didn't tell you, the inside of the physical bodies was an older origin of entities, which is inside of us. They are our children. I don't know, who cares? It's not important. I don't even want to even consider her, and just eating and stuff like that. Yeah, That ain't. Look, man. You see, even sometimes that disrupt us. Let me tell you how that disrupt us. We giving her power by her crying, and we even addressing that. That meant that in actuality, all these people we come to talk to about some stuff, all of a sudden now you're gonna pause and give some power because the person gonna let her cry. We ain't giving that no power. That let us know, right? Yeah, what's that?
Is there any truth to this inner planet? There's an inner world in this physical planet?
No, the inner world is on the inside of us. The inner world exists on the inside of us. You see what I'm saying? As far as the inside of the planet, the underworld, they were talking about the deep part of the subconscious mind. It's inside of us. Yeah.
I'm going to try to understand. If the masses are not going to do anything, right?
Right.
The Moors were builders.
Right.
The Moors were builders. I mean, we had bathhouses and libraries and universities. We built all of this.
Yeah.
All right? So if you say that the masses are not going to do anything, please help me to understand then what is going to happen? I mean, is it just a few of us that's going to get it right?
All right, look, check it out. You're looking at this based on physical. Now understand evolution. You were once a child. Then you became a teenager. Then you became an adult. A caterpillar is a caterpillar. It goes into a cocoon. It doesn't go into a cocoon to become a caterpillar. It goes into a cocoon to become a butterfly. We have been there, done that when it comes to civilization. Now it is time to metamorphosize into something different. We're not going to have a return back to humanity. We're leaving humanity. Humanity is over. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So we're not going back. There's a reason why we don't rule. We don't rule because that part of our doggone existence is over. We are in a laggard period because we're getting ready to go to a new metamorphosize into a new entity. So we're not going back to a human state. We're not going to go back and rule in Africa. Black people are not going to get it together. They're not supposed to get it together. Been there, done that. Now it's time for the next phase into evolution. Now this is all what your texts say. Because we're supposed to go beyond human. It's fundamental. You did the human stage for millions of years. Now you're in the intermission. Now you're in the intermission. You're not going back to the human stage. You're metamorphosizing into another state. This is what this is fundamental in Egyptian mythology. There is no text, because we left all this behind. They said we was going to go back to being humans.
Wait, no, go ahead.
Yeah.
Bobby?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, I got one.
Hold
on, black man.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about these mind-control government agents such as T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, and the rest of these televangelists with this nonsense, keeping our people deaf, dumb, and blind.
No, listen. They are there because our people put them there. They're there representing the dead.
Right.
Let the dead lie with the dead.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So my point here is the masses are going to go through every ailment there is. You can't be worrying about that, because if we keep worrying about the trouble that the masses are in, we never cultivate anything among ourselves to get to the higher level in which the masses going to be a part of. Because ultimately, all this shit got to be destroyed. You see what I'm saying? So T.D. Jakes is just a part of the same society, you see what I'm saying, that the masses are the same people. You see what I'm saying? He's only a manifestation of their ignorance.
So you have a question for me?
Yeah.
So are you telling me I'm the devil just because of the skin I was born in?
Look.
Yes.
Look. Okay, I'm gonna use this from whether she's the devil based on the skin she's born in. I'm not going to use it from a religious standpoint of view, because just like the African that stood before the table said, you know, you deal with the whole religious thing and all, and you throw people off.
Yes, sir.
But what we're saying is this, based on historically, and if you get into your learned white people, they bear witness to this, that historically, you have gone around the planet and enslaved and raped and pillaged and killed to this particular day, and you suffer, and this is in the masses of you. Now, this is one that is in the collective of white. You suffer from a superiority complex, and I don't see why wouldn't you. Everything you see, every image you see is of white folks. You see what I'm saying? So now, on that particular aspect of the religious aspect and all, I will say, based on the metaphysical aspect, based on the Kabbalah, they say the intruder, which means that was a person that wasn't there in the beginning, that now is intruding and causing an incontinuance to learning because they cause luxury. That's the capitalistic society. So like I say, is this here. As an individual, as an individual, it doesn't really matter, but as a collective, that's what we deal with. Because personally, be honest with you, you personally don't have no effect on me. You can't really do anything to me.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So to be grown up about this individually, it doesn't even really matter. But we talking about collectively, you benefit from a system and a society. You understand what I'm saying? That collectively, not just black people, but all indigenous people. We're just going back. Look, you just had a man that died recently.
I can't argue.
Right. You just had a man that died recently. What's your boy, the actor that just died? Marlon Brando. And what did he say when he sent that Native American woman to the Academy Award? She say, you all look and you would think that the Native Americans happen on another planet somewhere or another continent. You go about talking about this freedom thing and you massacred millions of people. Let me show you. So my point is, historically, you figure it out. Let me give you an example. They came to San Francisco. Now, they had already broke all the treaties. They pushed them from the middle of the country. Their last stand was San Francisco. In 3 years, they had 60 million Native Americans. And when they got through in 3 years, they had 20.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
So we talking about people that's massacring 50. They massacred 80 million buffaloes just so the Native Americans couldn't eat. So historically, it's not even an argument. My point here is, if you get off of just the whole thing based on the biological thing and just deal with the principalities of mindsets. You see what I'm saying? The mindset. You benefit from a culture that exacerbates and fosters this shit to this day. You see what I'm saying?
No, privilege creates blindness. It creates selfishness, and I absolutely agree.
You see what I'm saying? So, you see, my point is, and so, now, and so my point here is, and guess what? Believe it or not, I'm not talking today based on the stuff that you've done in the past. I'm giving you concept of what shit is going on right now on a global level. On a global level. You see what I'm saying? So my point here is on that particular level. So I try to, because, you know, yes, you got Sarnetta will tell you how he feels, and you can come in any Saturday and he'll get on your ass.
That's right.
You know. So my rendition is to take it from another point of view, so you can leave this, what you call it, understanding that we're not just here personally saying these things because we're upset what you did with us in the past. We're talking about globally on some things that's actually going on personally, on some things that's going on. You see what I'm saying? So it's on that particular level, you know. I say it that way, you know.
What I wanted to say is that if you alienate people, like, I agree with you. Yeah. I completely agree with you.
You feel no frat, baby. You don't even have to worry about this thing. Let me tell you. You ain't got to worry about this. This is no, I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you the fear that white people go around with. Just listen to what I'm trying to say. There's nothing I'm going to say to these people that's going to turn them against white folks. With my little 1 or 2 hours of saying this, when you all have blatantly done things for years and they still love you. And the bottom line is, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. That's not our nature. Black people will never be haters and never will. No matter how much we espouse that stuff, first of all, in order for us to be racist, you got to have a power to even to impose racism. So you really don't have to worry about this type thing on a person's views. Be honest with you, our people love you. So therefore, when you get a brother up here that's telling you what time it is, you should actually champion that. Because most black people, you're gonna go around, they're gonna be skinning and grinning, and they're gonna, well, good then.
Yo, let her know Negroes love her.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yes.
You have no control over it because you don't control the system.
Right.
You just caught up in it. The real folks are going to stand and grin.
No, but you know what, like Francis Cress Welsing say, if you really want to not be alienated, tell us what you say when we ain't around.
I will.
That's what I'm saying. Don't, now, because you can't come up here and tell me that when we are not around, white people sit around and they don't say shit about us. We know fucking white folks. And we know that in society is based on that.
You may think you know white folks. You don't know me.
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying if you saying you don't want to be, if you want to be an aide, you want to be an aide, tell us what you talk about when we ain't around, because we don't get that side. So obviously there's some, you know what I'm saying, if you really into this type of thing. I know, I'm just trying to say here is, my point here is ultimately, you still gonna be, when it's said and gone and we gonna be away from this table, you're gonna benefit from a society that's gonna be for your rule.
I have undue privileges. Absolutely, in every step that I take down the street.
You see what I'm saying?
I apologize for every privilege I have.
And stuff like that.
Give up every privilege.
Okay, but look at here. Well, you got an opportunity right now, since you over here crying and stuff, why don't you start telling us about what these white folks be saying when we ain't around?
You can never, no matter how many tears fall from your eyes.
I'm not doing this for a show.
Listen, you can never, in many lifetimes, apologize. Listen to me, for what we have gone through, because there's too many of you that feel different. You can never erase what has been done to us. It is embedded in our genes. No matter how many tears you sit here and cry, you will never be able to.
And don't tell me that you sitting up here right now. Don't tell me right now that you sitting up here naive to the fact of what you say when we ain't around. You still ain't saying it. It's not like you just fell out of some wonderland somewhere and stuff like that. No, come on now, you
Waiting for a response.
That's what I'm trying to say. We get fooled by this shit.
When you get a balance,
we get fooled by this. They say shit when we ain't around. So I'm trying to say, if you really want to say you what you gonna tell us what they say when you ain't around.
Well, in other words, what the brother is saying is that the apology and the tears is not what we want to get from you.
I know, and
we want information.
Information.
If you really want to, really check it out. Wait a minute. Check it out. Hey yo, check it out. If you really want to get down, then get down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tell us
what's going on.
What they say.
Apology. You can't apologize.
Tell us what they say when we ain't around. And you know what? It's amazing because we never get. It's amazing because we never get that side from white folks. We live our whole lives, and none of you all ever come to the ghetto.
That's right.
And not just the ghetto, because we the richest people of the Africans. Black people in America, we consumers.
That's right.
This street showing you this right now. But you never come to our side of the town and say, hey, guess what these people saying about you?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it's not as if the world, I don't want to spread nothing. No, you got to do is turn on the damn TV. They've been doing it in Hollywood for years. And so my point here is it's ongoing. It's ongoing. We need, and you say, well, why would you need me to validate that? Let me explain something to you. If you was to get on this video right now and tell us what white people say when we ain't around, you know how many black people you'll wake up? I could talk for 10 years and black people won't even listen to me. But if one white woman said that, so see?
So
see?
Go ahead. I wish I could tell you what white people say.
Okay, well, you know. Well.
Daddy say, what did your daddy say? What did your uncle say? What did your friends' parents say? Huh? The people in your family, their parents.
Coming down the
What?
Yeah, he said nothing.
College.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Tell them college kids what they used to say. Huh?
They may kill her.
I'm serious. Like,
They may kill her.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let her break it.
Like, you may think that we sit around and hate. I don't.
And nobody's saying no. No, nobody is saying it. Maybe you don't. All I'm trying to say is, but you still live in a system. Maybe you don't, but you still live in a system. My point is, maybe you don't hate, but you still live in a system that you interface with white people every day.
Why would you give a shit what he tell her to do?
No, that ain't the reason.
It's not an easy place for me to
don't.
We ain't gonna jump on you.
No, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, hold on.
For attention or for pity or for anything. Okay? I don't, it just...
Wait a minute, hold on.
I can't help it. I'm
Okay, right. We understand that. Only thing, because, you know, we got, because I got other people that came to hear what we saying and stuff, you know, so.
Smoke his ass and you're on my team.
Nah. Look.
John Brown did it.
You got any more questions?
I like John Brown.
No, hold on. Any more questions? Hold on.
Yeah, let's take it away.
Any more questions? Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you said something about us not rooting or leading anymore. You know, I would like to know if that's going to ever change. I would like to know if that's going to ever change, you know, because the way things are going now, you know, and the way this thing, I remember back in the days, we used to talk to each other.
Right, yeah.
We can't do that no more.
No, what I'm,
I understand. No. You know, I mean, I just came home, you know, and I did a lot of reading, and I read some books, you know.
Right, no.
And one of the things, I lived in Utah for a number of years. I had to take a company to the labor board because a white guy came to me and said they was calling me porch monkeys and niggas in the back.
Yeah.
I did time in prison in Utah. They had a thing. There is no deer hunting season this year due to the shortage of the deer. But you can hunt porch monkeys, spooks, and chunks, and you can find them at a welfare office, a Cadillac dealer. You can't set a mine within 50 feet of a watermelon patch. Damn. This was all on black and white, and we was trying to, you know, get this taken care of. So, you know, I learned some of the things they said.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, I just want to know why we can't get together. I see the young kids today. I mean, they look half naked. What's going on? But you said we're not going to.
No, I'm saying this here. Yes, in pockets, we can have some solidarity and some black unity and a black united front in pockets. But mass-wise, it ain't gonna happen. You got people in Alabama, Mississippi, you got a whole group of people in Northern California that don't even know they black. We're talking about a vast, you gotta understand this here, we don't live in a community. We live on a continent. Understand? And a continent means there is not a national consciousness. Consciousness exists in pockets. You understand what I'm saying? The only time you have a national consciousness is the people that control the society give you a national consciousness. We're not coming together on that, but it's not made to come together on that level. We're coming together like we are doing now, and ultimately, we going to a whole nother level. I ain't talking about the pie in the sky and milk and honey. I'm talking about we're transforming, but it's beyond the scope of what we look at on the mundane level. That's all I'm saying. There's some other greater things happening. You see, there's some other greater things happening, and that's you got to see. That's my forte. That's what I lecture on. Those other things. You got other people that will talk about those types of things and all. Yeah.
Why is it that us as black folks, because see, you know, I learned something. My daughter got a baby by a white guy.
Yeah.
I ain't feeling that at all.
Yeah.
How that fucking over. All right.
Right.
And now, why do they say that was the fucking past? Excuse my language. Every time them Jews talk about the Holocaust, don't nobody say a word.
That was the past.
Why is that?
Well, it's simple.
Why is that?
Well, it's simple and all. You know, they dictate on what consciousness or what type of level that they want to engage in, and it's a strategy that the Jews are trying to corner the market on suffering. You see what I'm saying? To take our birthright, because we're the people that suffer. We're the legendary people that they talk about in all scriptures of suffering. And so that goes to show you something about where we're going with this. And what we'll ultimately be when somebody's trying to steal our birthright with suffering. And they are rich. We will never have what the Jews got. So that, you know, that's just the same old strategy that they always do. We understand what it is, you know, but like I say again, it's...
We got to wake up. We got to wake up.
Yeah.
That's all we got to do is wake up.
Bobby Hemmitt. Nice meeting you, yeah.
Yo, any more questions?
What about
hey, yo, man. Yo, kill that over there, man.
But we got to build a nucleus. We got to build a nucleus. And that's what we're doing.
Is it possible to tap masses?
Part of it, but be honest with you, I'm not even bullshitting around. This thing has to go with what our ancestors say to the next level. not going back. You see what I'm saying? The only thing can help the mass of the society is the society and what they do.
So then shouldn't we talk